ono se kase no eno na me de ebramo aseda e o ma this way chocolate drink de ohia hey enso share have a special ice enso e odwa so special drinks e bonichi dom and ye de emamo best point savings and loans and the best assurance and what de sika mu dwanko a na ye di e wo nyimekoi adaroma ye de nsem no eba channel 360 DSTV shey na etie ensem no bi e wo ho de oba betie no ebi enie osofo re dwadie hu nsem so e de ato dwa se eto ye de ema Ghana for so muntua no enye adeso akra eye asede wo se Ghana for nyina yetumi gitum na yetua na yekopiem awati wa east ewapuwe mantam no emu a DC abomodin ate gas welders de wo agu ebirim ensuo no so session fine ne niema omanfo de galamsey omonko na omonko sei ni nyina na entumi emmoa apuwe mantam wa ne da so ejine na nwemfo nsem ode etu dwane se enum to sindi kosi boso akwan no enkoyie kra akwan na sei empanyifo emrem na wonhwe ensiesie emfa ema wo mo ensem no bebre eka wo hu ede be mawo e wo kase boy emu obahima efia kire me na mesom mamu nyina akwaba yentie kase no emu ensem osofo ohwe adwadie ne mfidijuma ho nsem eso hey honorable Elizabeth Ofosu Ajare asemode etudwa ene se ode abasobode ma Ghana Revenue Authority o ma yade na adwumadie mienu o mada na di a eye sustained tax education program and a modified taxation scheme no ni nyina yade a ebeboa ama omanfo nya entiase yie efa etrodegye eni nitua eho
industrial. These dual initiatives mark a significant milestone in our collective effort to deepen tax awareness and improve compliance, particularly within the Ghana's vibrant informal sector. In today's economic landscape, tax education is not just a technical exercise, it is the cornerstone of inclusive development. When citizens understand their tax obligations, we unlock the potential to mobilize domestic revenue for critical investments in infrastructure, healthcare, education, industrial transformation, and job creation. This program is therefore aligned with Ghana's broader economic goals. As a ministry, working closely with traders, SMEs, manufacturers, and young entrepreneurs, we fully support this campaign. We are committed to collaborating with the Ghana Revenue Authority to ensure that tax education is accessible across all regions and all sectors, especially those in the informal economy whose participation is essential. A well-informed taxpayer is a willing and compliant taxpayer. Strengthening tax literacy builds trust, enhances transparency, and fosters voluntary compliance. Key ingredients for a fair and effective tax system. We commend GRA's ongoing digital transformation, which is simplifying tax processes and improving accessibility. The ministry stands ready to support sensitization efforts across business community, including through using our regional trade offices and MSMEs networks. Let's take this opportunity to encourage all Ghanaians, especially our dynamic trading and business communities, to embrace taxation as a civic duty and a strategic investment in Ghana's future. Tax is not a burden. It is a shared responsibility that fuels nation building. Finally, we call for continuous stakeholder dialogue to ensure that taxpayer feedback informs future reforms. The Ministry of Trade, Agribusiness and Industry pledges its full support to the success of this program and to the broader transformation agenda of Ghana Revenue Authority.
Also for instance, say any obuadi any pa honsem eso. Hey, Honorable Emmanuel Amakofibua or Mrashebejene. Wedi Ghana edom anim amoma kopiem el Brazil wonante sie nyina enese cop30 inhyamudi a ebekoso wiase aman a wom edom United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change no wom edie ni feto so aduasa no Ghana yenso ye kwase ebe enti o mai dom a ekwa anim no wadi a wom kwakodi dwuma e wo mai edimo wo hwe kwan se akuku da mom bekasa e wonhyamudi na se no wom beto atwadwe e de afa ewiem bobre ne tebia ensakraya enya kwan obo ade ne pa etwa enho hia amansan betumi INFM de ede abon ho ban ama etu empon na acting minister of environment ho nsem eso ya oye honorable Emmanuel Amakofi Buaye enne obekasa e Ghana mampanyin excellency John Dramani Mahama de dimo e won hyiamudie na ase na wache Ghana yenjina bre eba anamo ayetu ni gina ya yesie e de afa ewiem bobre ne tebi a esesa na enyina faako na baabi a yegina enhyehyɛ mapandi egu akwan so nyina no watumi e de ato ewiase mampanyimfo no enim na ni nyina emu no kyese enhyiamudie ampanyimfo e de hyehyɛ so afi e wo Brazil no Ghana ye krado se gina bi ombesi a eye papa ebeboa ama ewiem bobre ne tebia ho ensem atumi agina no yenso yebetumi ade enim die kakra ataye kire ahwa aboa amadwumedie ne awie peye wei ayensem apakwasi Shandoff awo omampanyi atenaye anaso ye hwe oboade ne pa ho nsem so afo no atenaye ode ne nsa hyase a ode ababeto eja Mwashe bedwani ema menhia not abatom pesua heyo onabo akwasi kunadu na ode atodwa se ade ba ko a ema omai bambo ho nsem ehihim me enkwa achi kwa galamsey.
Today, illegal mining activities not only degrade the environment, but also are increasingly claiming innocent lives. Despite Ghana being a signatory to numerous environmental and sustainable development protocols, our current trajectory undermines these commitments. Mr. Speaker, the implications of galamsey extends beyond environmental degradation. The direct threatening human lives, for instance, from January to July 2025, Ghana has recorded at least 17 reported deaths linked directly to galamsey activities. Mr. Speaker, these are not mere statistics. These are Ghanaian lives, breadwinners, mothers, sons and daughters lost to the reckless pursuit of unregulated mineral wealth. Mr. Speaker, how many lives must be lost before an urgent, decisive action is taken? The prevalence of death, environmental collapse, is a direct consequence of ineffective law enforcement, lack of political will, and some instances, the complicity of state actors and traditional authorities. Mr. Speaker, galamsey is not simply an environmental issue. It is a national security threat. It fuels local conflict, deepens poverty, and exposes our youth to preventable death. In light of this, the Mahama-led government should leverage real-time surveillance through technology and satellite imagery, anchored in the visionary digitalization agenda of His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, to enhance monitoring of high-risk mining zones and enable swift response to emerging illegal activities. The digitalized infrastructure, once mocked and misunderstood by our opponents, now presents a strategic tool to combat the galamsey menace with precision, transparency, and accountability.
The deception, the propaganda, the lies, you told Ghanaians. Let us all understand the fact that some of these issues must be given the needed national attention, devoid of politics, because it's destroying us. Let's work on our mindset revolution, change the way we use propaganda in deceiving Ghanaians because of political capital. It's extremely important. People are dying. Biologically, we are not even sure what we eat, what it contains, whether they contain hard metals or not. It's not an issue to play with. It's not an issue to laugh about because you end this UNPP. But it is a national issue that is endangering the future of the next generation and posterity.
Mr. Speaker, I would like to call on my colleagues that their newfound love for the fight against galamsey is welcoming, but they should remember to tell the people of Ghana the path that they took, the things that they did, the evil that they did against this country in destroying our environment. Mr. Speaker, they cannot all of a sudden become holier than thou. Yes. Mr. Speaker, it is not how much you shout. Ghanaians are aware of your track record. Mr. Speaker, we know that when it comes to lip service to galamsey, it started from your end. And it will not change today because you have made a simple statement on galamsey. Mr. Speaker, I would like to emphasize that by the time His Excellency John Dramani Mahama leaves office, he will leave the people of Ghana with a safe environment, and galamsey will be a thing of the past. Mr. Speaker, we are doing a lot to ensure that your lives are safe, your children are safe, not just ours, but yours as well. Mr. Speaker, we are making sure that those environments that you destroyed will reclaim those environments. And you should be clapping for John Mahama for wanting to save your environment.
NPP General Secretary Justin Frimpong Kodua Edison bo ebo NDC abense omoba de galamsey na aye kon kra esan se NDC mpanyufo dodo na edo mwagima omomma kwan emma emra enya adwuma ewo mai emo
ene galamsey eyade a edu omaninya yemnya be kai ebe yewura kufuada memwo no etu adamo bebre ema mampeni na nadan kufuada kwa kase sempo na kunya kwa no de beto so ampa sa brani hu se yenso bebre ne tie na so se nyam ya ndisi for the propaganda ena all mining site or galamsey site edu ba du kra ye tie on sa friend disi aba mo opposition so mo mbra me kai ho asema mo ka che ne se ye ne wa aban mu ye ne wo kra soldier for ye ne kra police for ye declare state of emergency o ba bia galamsey ekoso ena ndc aban na wo so galamsey ekoso samre editwam ebro dey see MPP aban so na so ye hu ana mapapa bia aban ni tu afa ho the MPP yebusa yira mahama ne se state of emergency na wo hemfa ena galamsey ekoso amankofo nya kukudro NDC MPs esori a no mo ka efa galamsey so enja mo nkofo nye NDC for sebi omo party officers if national ecofom ebi eye galamsey no eni tina ho tokwa no na se ho kun ayede no tie de ka che o mampeni maama ne se galamsey no sebi o pepa bi se obetu galamsey ase a akonya ne wo ho oni ba bi a problems no ho se empo wo to ne sa frɛ MPP for se emeka no ho na yenko sa ntokwa na ye de ye nye so wo mo ye nka se o mo ne wa abento mo nko ye no mbeka bom na o man nti ya ade a ebeboa masabi yensu nwate na ye kwaye mususu adaho
aban krechi panyino wo etiwo east eye orua ns osu intim wate gas welders e de group brim tade no so wo se wo mo mutu galamfe de chamfine boat ni ade e no mo de eye nti gas welders na enkwai wonko sei ni nyina enfamfiri asuo no eso
ohe eye yechiheya brimina na daham ena hano so no ya baba be two machines almost 3 times e wo hano ubetu ya essence machine e bo onye omode nti ubetu ya no masan ba be den o masan ko tofu for the aba iti ye develop a strategy say the flame na eno na ne bo e den ye ba me the gas we da be ba ye ba yitwa machine na ne asese bibia ye den e de yakọ eno no obi nsan nye den ensan ba before so betu ya den abi kweti boat no for no na wa nke a lot of cost do the tumwa engine pen was any nua na eguso even engine no kra no udi jatuma sometimes no enye ni na na ayeden ase kra o mutimi to pass e fan de yeden ehihye but say ye ba na say utwitwa na uyi an engine ni na de kwa nipa no wa condemn machine no kra enti ne de face anka blue water guide for no omonsa no omukwa omuntwitwa wi a se scratch for no de bakwa komom a omonsa komom da so nema na wa ha ne bo eden pa because say before so we get me ayi di say ya wi no na be 100,000 plus ba ene yetimi aseni no say wo de omfa ye ba ye see ya adwumu process wo ye ne 10 times ye be say ne 10 times.
The only way out to eliminate this chamfire on the Brim River is to high the service of a weather that will go with a gas weather, so that once we go, weather dismantle the boat itself, which it will be very difficult. But when they come back, they will come and see nothing, because there will be nothing on the river. So basically, that's why we decided to adopt it, and we know that once other districts and once government even adopt this kind of strategy, it will work.
Asante achim bompata e Asante achim south empotamum na omanfo nso omo tete se minds dwumadie bi bekoso ebetu mine nom se omati galamsey ho mpanyinsem enti omo person be makwankra mining dwumadie bia ayiniti e wo mpotem ho
Oyechire course no na convener yoda aggrieved resident na no Ora Joseph Ban echemu say wo bi etu afamagudie no wotumi krata na se woni bi no essence ani nsuonso ane nyina yade a enya de se betimi aboa wose so momom ho kwan no mutu famagudie wo bompata ebema enema bebre na ebesei essence so motena se no mo hwe eye enkura hodo mutu famagudie ho na wotumi se ho no nema bebre na aseye akro no nya de se etimi mpon eno so nti no mayo madwen se bompata krom die enya de so mba pene mo bia batu afomagudie e wo ho
mine na de galamsey eba na wo hwe se de bompata wo hwe se de asase sitie wo hwe se de yensuo esitie that's a mine be krom ha sana die na kro we se ebeye won be say ebi se ya na nanom ene ma amenom ene anuanom a wo krom ha wọ́n kọ́ fún mu a nsuo na wọ́n sa no mo kan kyerɛ sɛ Ghana ɛhefa ne ɛyɛ galamsey ayɛ nse nsuo ɛhefa ne ɛyɛ man ne ayɛ nse nsuo ɛhefa ne ɛyɛ man ne a yɛn nsa nsase ɛhefa ne ɛyɛ man ne a yɛn tu koko enwo asam no enti either say illegal ana illegal ne nyinaa dream pro na edie enti asam an sɛ yɛmpɛ mine na mine ne be krom a ye nyina ye nim sunsuaso ade ba mane ba e de awudie ba e de teenage pregnancy e ba e de kom e ba kromo e bi se ye na ono wadua menkan a ono wodi ni kakra akra mane ni kotu menkan ne apart from say nsu e say ensase ene niema aka no e ho pentenkwa ene yade
eno achi no womanfo ni bi ye wo asante achem bompata nso e de adesede to asante menra otumfo setutu otosumienu anim se wo besre pa sane afomagudie to nsem no ekoso ho no wonfa na no ntum se ne be ya se ye galamsey o se de yama no tumi so ontu famagudie no wo mu hina bejai na kro no mpuntuo atimi abamu
Bazayo, me bakola ketwa. Samani bakoma seya. Obetimi akoni nse. Yakwa woswa. Yabawo pala omaditem. Yenye so fanya diane. Na notumfo. Na nabadaroma. Oma yesramo yebakokto. Yesu another prayer yesramo. President Mahama MC Last Minister. Samos move to galamsey. Esosa. Adia. Opatamai. Yadi adis ready to panim. And what's now? Now they say, yes, your grandma in the
corner by a deal, no more so Mompia. Let's say me and Mamma de Banne, your question said, Omonti Crumanasi because she'll be in here, Omono. 2% better no money and Shubiano. And to where the young to cross some anase bibia, the best friend and anonymne, or Mamma de Jumane Banne said, Omonchen ye and Uncle Fa, and to quiet Sissy Betty Bibiama. Social media and I. Penifo se o monte ase no so o mompene enti media ne se me support se yempene
asye hwapomudin nsem so etu anamo bi ebeboa ma yapomudin agina emu bi ni se wo chiche enuro akọ ayaresabia horo e wo mai emo na empotam nso a doctors anyone no wo hye edi ebi akọ no.
Government has taken the decision to retool our health facilities, number one. This is just the beginning. We have 50 anesthesia machines. Kolebu, because of the enormity of work they do, we are giving them 8 out of the 50. This is the first tranche, and we'll make sure that what we have for now will be evenly distributed per the needs of the facilities we have in this country. And we've also requested that they take very good care of it. Government is not going to do the retooling alone. We're going to include the private sector. PPP is part of the retooling. Now we are working on dialysis machines. From there, we'll go to the next point. So the private sector will be our partners to make sure that every health facility in this country has a required number of machines or personnel to be able to execute their work very, very, very well. And I made mention of the posting of our medical doctors. It is true that about half of the medical doctors we have in this country are in Accra, and to be specific, Greater Accra. And obviously everybody would understand that it doesn't it is not equitable when it comes to the distribution. And so there's the need for us to reset that particular distribution. And so we have the opportunity to distribute more than 700 medical doctors, and we think that about 80% of them should go to the districts. And of course, we have to put certain measures in place to be able to encourage and incentivize those who accept postings to those who are. And one of them will be the number of years you spend at a district to get the opportunity to come and do your fellowship, right? Your specialty. And so if it is, for example, if you must serve in Accra for 4 years before you are given the opportunity to do your specialty or to become a specialist, maybe if you spend 2 years in the district, you should be able to get that opportunity to come and do so. So there are some incentives package we are putting together to encourage our wonderful medical doctors to give off their best.
Nyame yaduma busumi mu de etosu edu emiensa osoafo a ohwe omansi kasem ntoto so bekwa kopiem ewo emrahye bedwam na afi 2026 omansi kasem kontebu a eye budget no ode akoto dwa na ansa no beko no senior lecturer odi ni juma o University of Ghana Business School eye Professor Patrick Esumi osi ohwe kwan se sikasem so ofo no ebeko a okwa onfa hihye mapa emu odin ai what that a ewane nso enidaso wom ema omansi kasem ento oman enim.
First, you are buying the major flagship programs, especially for the real sector. We implement it via 24-hour economy. Okay, our first year, most of the area and say set up structures, set up secretariat. But this is the time I feel you see who say are buying the programs or the real economy. You see, you need more update on the specific way you be implemented 24-hour economy. Into one side is very important, and I'm hoping say the finance minister so obey communicate clear strategy. Because in the middle of next year, if you have a program, in the EPC who say I have a program you free money. Last time you free have a program, you say you free money 2 years, and your problem started here. This time, Abanso Omo implemented several reform measures. Governance structure no improve. Into a specific finance minister so be my update on the way forward after the IMF program. So there are problems that there be if IMF program or yes and I think that there's also a specific finance minister communicating long-term strategy within which are almost 24-hour economy say because so far no there. I'm sure say structures secretariat near the corner or more year. I think that going forward 2026 we expect even real action as a specific measures. You see
Womo makom wabom se ekua omuno no enuane Ghana Association of Chefs womo no mo eka say na de waka nyina ene se galamsey eha adwen eha ensase emma ekonye sunsanso ewo mfudi akuafo dua nyina eso enti enuane ne beba no apomuden fam kwa yedi a enkoyie wano dem se galamsey wonsem de mpanyifo nhwe na wontu eso esa
ediban no ono no ye bibi abrofo obi bi e woka ne say you are what you eat medical mu no ina ye behu say de nam ho enti oye galamsey nsem ya wabe asasi ya wotu a won hwedu ye wotu biala wodi indura bua ye nipedua no wodi ye no ona emusuna woduadua enduaba a ye diko ye mu wom no ye nia ya ko school eduanim ye hu say oye contaminated ena ye hweda ni systems and structures wo yen governance system ni mo or regulate yen farming system obitima ka say Diabe why affected and no ya affected Mamuni Bosman Yamati wotu ya 1 year wodue ya wotitu tomatoes carrots na cabbages wotutu ya wodegu kem woda abesin kogom ayenso ya akoto ya ba ya oru hu ye da be ye diba ni pedi de indri ya wodi ye galamsey ye bia kom de bi nkom obi ensusu obi anka de eyi ye ne hoto ana ne ho ntew na me did there dey bia ye koyemu all pile up all build up on no ma ye ba bebre wa be ba all affecting bebre nti ayen so chef aye di ba na ye use them nyame ye be pa chew ye nim da wo nim kan na wo be fa do wo de be siesie dem asemi
Nansaya na aba beto dwese 2020 ne 2024 ema ye troye ewo mai emu no basabasa yesi ma akra edunum ehwe wo nkwa na bese aduanan epreprai presifo amanebo enie na eno nam so ama executive director Africa Center for Security and Counter Terrorism ora Emmanuel Maunye Kuten hede ato dwese de ekoye no enche yie abeye ahoma bi a esesa Ghana ye kebma minke bi de eye adwuma no eso empanyufo nhwe na ahoma no ontwa.
A good starting point because you start to say you're accountable in our electoral processes. But Adebako, my person mean for to say electoral violence doesn't benefit anybody, not the MPP or the NDC at all. That's why we have to all get it clear. Now, who say? It is in the interest of our democracy to nip it in the bud, because electoral violence is a direct attack and a threat to our democracy. So, Midday, me feel say the take home here, and the way I bet my reforming the electoral commission. Na yen stop demonizing electoral commission as service NDC or MPP. And mostly political parties na tires are nemawe. Eyo mudia. Almost be defend everything about electoral commission and come where almost see or your party way. Until no, we have to put our hands on deck. Now you build the institutions to forestall some of these future occurrences. So, to our internal security, me feel say yambodi internal institutions it will threaten our internal security. I foresee our youth in the future massing up and taking our streets or probably our seat of government. It has happened in Kenya. Tanzania and saying it happened. Cameroon, it happened. And it is always better and will be on the better side of history if everybody institutions to forestall some of these things. I'm not a prophet of doom, but some of these things can happen because as it stands now, don't let us deceive ourselves. Justice has not yet been served. Justice has just been initiated.
Yako Prisia Winnie Valley Abaton Persuana Eswa, Electoral Area Coordinators are Ewoho, Eye Eduasa Emieno, Emwa Duenu Wache and Dia Walkena and say Dr. Mahmoud Baumia and Omunim na, Omudu Omachita Emanunti and Naya Canadi, Yenim Baby on the Omufuno, Ebo.
Omo amujina ha edis adwumai omo ye 28 out of 32 electoral area coordinators. Omo assignment is simple. Omo say omo tie campaign e cost so far. Na so omo meye saade we ya omo da omo nda. Enti so omo jina ha omo hye NPP amanyokuo nyina abo. Ene Dr. Mahmoud Baumia abo ese 28 out of 32 electoral area coordinators our Pristia Huni Valley constituency. Omu declare omu support. They are my Dr. Mahmoud Baumia.
His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Baumia, behalf of Pristia Huni Valley electoral area coordinators, Nyaya Kachia won't say we are behind you. It's your toe, a real bow, a home toe. You say, Yani police station calling in our carbon. Nyakacha will say, we are moving forward. Yakoko for Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia. Thank you.
Dr. Alhaj Mahmoud Bawumia, the support base keeps growing and growing. No wonder he is the most marketed, most prepared, and most winnable.
President of the Ghana Publishers Association ano eye Asarikunadu Yamoa na wodi tu dwase empanyimfo ma ben ewo yenwumesuom no wo mo fa hihye bia emuedu enwa kwan so na enwoma Ghana fo atro entumi enyina ne naso brane eba no eniema yede ma yema na asua de ene yenwumesua enhyehyɛ ya ye educational curriculum no mu a entumi enkonkan pa.
We must seize this momentum. Let us work together, publishers, allied sectors, and policymakers, to develop a comprehensive national publishing policy that offers direction, incentives, and a global relevance. Between 1997 and 2000, Mr. Chairman, stakeholders collaborated with government to develop the National Textbook Development and Distribution Policy, followed by the National Book Development Policy, courtesy the Ghana Book Development Council. While discussions to review these documents have begun, progress has been slow. The TDDP is no longer a guiding framework, and fragmented book procurement policies have yielded limited impact. Today, I urge the Ministry of Education and Culture to initiate a coordinated dialogue with stakeholders aimed at synchronizing existing policies and making them relevant, purposeful, and future-facing. And to my fellow publishers, let us become policy advocates. Let us draw national attention to the transformative power of our industry, not just for ourselves, but for every Ghanaian child who deserves to see themselves in the pages of the books that we publish.
Effective policy creates the enabling environment where talent, innovation, and investment can flourish. When aligned, book reading and textbook policies can anchor education programs, reforms, promote cultural diversity, and stimulate the creative economy. Globally, the publishing industry's contribution is significant. In the UK, books and journals add about £7.8 billion to the economy and support 70,000 jobs. Across Africa, the sector represents about 5.4% of global publishing revenue, an opportunity that could grow to $18.5 billion with sound reforms. This is according to our own research that Ghana participated in.
Yetwa ensem so edi amamo Volta Trade and Investment Fair 2025 ebekoso na empanyifo enam so dia to Ghana fo a wom eye nnwuma nyina anim se we yakwanya kese enti won hwe so betumi de won ho agimu ebi.
In partnership with the Volta Regional Coordinating Council, key partners, the Association of Ghana Industries, which is the leading voice of the private sector in Ghana, regional branch of Eastern Volta and OT, is organizing the 7th Volta Trade and Investment Fair. This year's fair is billed the 24-hour edition. We'll run dedicated days round the clock and focus areas on agribusiness, tourism, ICT, sports development, infrastructure, and transport. So, of the 7th Volta Trade and Investment Fair. It is billed the first ever 24-hour trade fair in Africa and Ghana. We are partnering with the Regional Coordinating Council led by Honorable James Gunu, which is overseeing the overall policy implementation of government's 24-hour program, and the private sector, which is the AGI. We have other partners like the Ghana Exim Bank, the Bank of Ghana, National Petroleum Authority, GIFEC, GESEL, and other institutions. We want to make the region, through the Volta Trade and Investment Program, the hotspot of the country and an attractive destination for local and foreign investors. This year, As I already mentioned, we are expecting participation from about 6 African countries, and the high point of this year's summit is the Volta Investment Summit, which will bring together investors, both foreign and local, financiers, private sector, government, to discuss the region's investment potentials. We have packaged a number of investment profiles that these prospective investors or attendees will look at. We will be doing business matchmaking. There will be a deal room, and there will be a signing of several memoranda of understanding between some international finance institutions, the AGI, and the Volta Regional Coordinating Council.
Yako yaya sabia rona empempi Benz unit no obeko na yenuanu bi ahyehe a ebi mu hyehye no ano den enso National Health Insurance Scheme no entumi emfa ehun kanyina ema wo mo efa eka ne bi entu beko na de aka wo so mutua no den de ma wo mo eno na wo mo sese aban mremoi na National Health Insurance Scheme ke fiti na ko so obi hyehye a emfa ehun kanyina emfa ema wo mo
se obehyehe no na fomusa nemum niye wa ye kan se yaban ye o de wa ye be ka kira ban ne se aban betwe nani ahwe omo a ebe hyehye no ba kwa medical kan se insurance en cover Benz survivor no eno so yade a eka ewo ho pa do medie ma family afi nemum minua no mo me bompa e me nkase ebinsi ne ebi ato no a oda hospital no me pese ebeka aban no akuma na with mama insurance etimi akova wo Benz survivors for no
every year we asimi nyina nko for be say 180,000 kosi 300,000 sheshe every year and also ekosi nko for bebre a omo ebia obi ni 9 obi ni nsa obi bibi sa no Benz edi mu akotin pa so ye ka say obia enka ye ho na ye raise sa awareness say Benz enya asem ketwa e wo say ye fa ne seriously because nkola sheshe every day in Ghana o share ye data na ye wa che say nkola pa na eta sheshe na sheshe bebre no akoye hot water in so share ana say nkwan share ana bibia she egu akola ho about time bebre no na senior omuko hu omomma no wo hospital ho na ebo mu hu because no mun susu da say Benz to me say it to me causes so much injury to akola ketua obehu say oduwa na esu ne doso health insurance ayebi me nka say enye hwe health insurance ayebi but the bill no me hwe obi bill no 35,000 ene obi share the story 40,000 na ubetia Benz na happens as an accident inti say impefumia ye say kofa 40,000 but and it's not just there say ebia nipa na koda ICU nipa ne da ho na sa bill yaba over let's say 3-week period enfe na ya hwe na ama ye de na eba ward in draw befa ne niama inti say sika no many people cannot afford
ya dia ebo edin kakra eti no ade anke be hia kese ne say sena ka yebeyanka ensi kura but enya dia yebetime ka se memensi kakra na ebesi no susun ka esi ase na yebetime aso ano individual na se be nipa no mahihine na fiefo nko entimi embo sa ekawe iti yesre yekoto sre se enka ebeka ne se government and ebeka se obi biara yeka government anya se political government ne pe but obi biara obetimi asom biara yesre se government de enka opesen ko ye National Health Insurance ti yesre se international health insurance no yeka se ne coverage enyoma na etimi ye no yesre pa se enka nyoma na etimi ye no enko nanim kakra
especially your kitchen ne ye aduane a mama beni beka se unattended mama yi adwin fi so yemfa ya adwin enko ho enyoma ben na me ya te say with the napkin ebeto to ho abeben ija with the nyoma bi a ija ne betumi esumu a ebasa yes bosa wangasa no abompofrim na nhuni a wonye na ebehyeso ankasa beje gas na susu a wondum no ebi ho a with the friends say insuo ebi ho a ye maame no komo ya ade a na ompese o mohwe say angwa na ado a na mo de insuo egum na aye chill bi na no nyina no emwa mo menhwe say ye edije ye ade a yɛbɛma yɛadwene aba so.
Nananmo informo enum nananma tankonwa na ekasai wo sra bai se akwan ne de enkoyi kra e wo mpotem nti won hye na enmenum ya wonsiesie emfa ema wo
ye kwan de enyen aban yo ba su yi wa hye bo so ba ye kwan na maye nso be sinde wa hwe kwan ye nam so a ye kɔ woki ne omahene ka ho na ye koyi enye fe hwe hu futu wo hwe material mi se a senye kas bia nam so bia complain too much nti yesraban wa hye yebo ondi sumayen na ehu se wa ye ne bo hye
flood ne yen yesremo aban ya hye yebo yesren se onfa onma ne bo hye ne emra sumayen enye yempese ye be demonstration ansana aban ya abaya mayen normally gise amanfo sorry eboko jan etun to sukoko ansana sebi yanu edukrom ana yanu edubejom yesre aban se yempese be demonstration bia o ha ye de adesede kese ene ede ma aban se o mehwe ye kwan ne maye di enya ankasa futuro hayen yesre aban bebre
hayen pa yo ha maye o se nam so yi cars bi twa hu an futuro nko a yo eti yesre se ka o mo mere ntama ye wo mo a hwe dan ka fe fisi we dan futuro penti dan kranche futura di sa kwan ya dan wo kwan hu nyina akọ obi adam mu a omonta ade nyina omontim hye white shirts nyina dan red shirts nko a the kwan de very very urgent my pass so be no be from my
kwan asam de high pa because sabi ya papa mo ye kuafo e na mo de hwe ya na nde nyina bedum pempen so eti sei enti ye nchirefo no so na ye wo se ye hwe kwan mo na omo dua omo no man na ometimi dai de akoto ahwe ye ma no enti mi nkosa normally omo niam nyina ko usu niam akora kai bia no ho be ye de obefa enti wuntimi mfa ne bebre emfi afuo mu ho na just kakra obetima ye de afa nkwa na eso na wode aba enti esra ban so onye de omra no me ye moa
wie ma ni nyina afua na ye wo ahanum sei okokra na wo bakra wunya ka obebre ansan na wanya ka de aba bedufie enti ekwan de mfa tete ye pa enti stress aban ni so mehwe na onya my from osibi tubuso de enya kwan tintin bia sa batasa che yakasa ho even MP mi ame ko ne ho ne ko kasa ya oso wati o mbehwe but still ano ye hwehwe inti ye stress o mmehwe kwan no monyemaye
community say wa around say eba say obi yare na say de ne eba clinic wa ha say ya esan say kwan ni nyentini ebedu na che say akoye asemfoforo fenso so apemfo awo kan mo na say de o mo ba eno so e yo how bebre ma inti ye besre aban say onye bibi ma na e ma na ekọ awo so no omo so eba say bibis omo awo ne kan mo na say de o mo kwa etimi age omo enkwa because e ha adwin bebre
wo shekasie e wo United Television SU Ship House Abeka Junction en kran yenton kra ye ba bongo di fara agropamaso ense